Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Powder Crafts, and today I'm here to share with you the 12 cards I made using the Flavor of the Month card kit by Scrapping for Less. The theme for the month of August is For the Love of Pets. So I've made 4 cards using each one of the collections. I try to stick to the elements in the collection aside from coloring mediums, obviously glues, and shape dies like circles or rectangles, banners, things of that nature. And acetate. I do bring in acetate because I do love to make shaker cards. So anyway, let's take a peek at what we made with Collection 1. Collection 1 had pattern paper from Dogtails by Echo Park. This is the first card that I made. And this is my interpretation of sketch number 1 from their card sketches for the month of August. So that's this sketch right here. This is my interpretation. So used various pattern papers on this card. This banner and the circle were cut from the white cardstock that we get in the card kit. I did use some walnut stain distress ink around the edges of the white paper. The pattern paper is features some darker colors, and the white just really stood out, and it kind of didn't look natural to the card. It didn't seem like it fit in. So I did add some walnut stain distress ink. If you don't have distress ink, you could use pretty much anything you wanted to just add a little bit of color to the edge. You could use just some regular dye ink. You could, use some sort of a marker. You could even just kind of color around the edges a little bit with any kind of, coloring medium that you have. So this is card number 1. Now, when I stamped out the sentiments for these cards, I used VersaFine ink, which is not Copic friendly. So these hearts that I colored with a red Copic marker did the black ink smeared all into it. So I wouldn't have normally brought in red stickles, but I did this time because that black ink smeared all over. So note to self, VersaFine ink is not Copic friendly. And I think I knew that, but I just received a small cube of it, and I'd been so excited to use it, and I've been loving it. I just kind of used it for everything. But anyway, so I know stickles isn't something we received in this kit. It is a red stickles that I did receive in a prior kit. I want to say sometime last fall. And I know I'm probably rambling on way too much about some stickles. Anyway, this card I also used the Thanks for Sticking By Me sentiment from the stamp set. So that was card number 1. Card number 2 is my interpretation of sketch number 2. So again, lots of pattern paper from the paper pad that we received, the 6 sheets that we received in the kit. This is the sweet little image that came with the stamp set that came in this collection. Now the stamp or the card sketch said to add some embellishments over here, but with what I had in the kit, I just added some sequins right here. This paper here was just some white cardstock I cut out, and again, it just looked too bright and kind of out of place with all of these darker colors. So I did take some peeled paint distress ink and just kind of sloppily put it on. Like you can see the lines and things, which I kind of like from the sponge. It just kind of dulled down that background for those puppies, which are super adorable. And on the inside, I just stamped that sentiment again, thanks for sticking by me, and added 2 stickers from the sticker sheet. So card number 3 is my interpretation of sketch number 3. And sketch number 3 is right here. Now the circle I cut out was really big, but it needed to be in order to kind of accommodate this stamp. So what I did is, once I had the pattern paper and this Project Life card underneath, I just decided to cut off that part of the circle and then just stick the sentiment right below Friends Forever. I'm really happy with the way this card came out. And again, added some more of that walnut stain distress ink around this white circle to kind of have it blend better with the pattern paper. And on the inside of this card, thanks for sticking by me, with another one of those really adorable puppy stickers. Now when I first saw those stickers, I was like, oh, those are kind of cute. But man, I'm telling you, I'm really loving them. They are super adorable. They're perfect for sticking right next to this sentiment. And there's a little bit of glitter on them. I just, I mean, I liked them before, but I really, after making these cards, really liked that sticker sheet. So that's card number 3. Card number 4 is a shaker. Let's try not to get the glare from my light. So again, just use some pattern paper underneath here. I just had a piece of the white cardstock, stamped our little image, colored them with some Copic and Spectrum Noir markers. I made a frame here using a mini scallop circle punch and a regular circle punch. So I cut the black cardstock with the scalloped edge first, and then I used a circle to cut out the middle so that it would fit our little window here. Use this stamp set, Friends Forever, and again added 2 of the hearts, which I added some stickles on because of my little error in ink choices. And on the inside, another one of those sweet little puppies, thanks for sticking by me. So this is going to be a great little set of thank you cards. I'll probably keep all 4 of these cards together as like a little puppy thank you set. Super cute. So that's everything from collection number 1. So collection number 2 featured rainbow, I think it was, yeah, Rainbow Dots and Rainbow Stripes by Sunny Studio. I don't think I used the card sketches for any, no I didn't, for any of these cards. So the first one up here is a shaker card using 3 of the different pattern papers we received in the collection. 2 of them are the dots and 1 is the stripes. Stamped this little image and colored him or her, or I guess a her, she's got a little bow on, little dog here, and added pretty much all the sequins that we received in the kit for the shaker part. And on the inside of this card is just a white mat. So it is card number 1. Card number 2, I used some fishtail banner dies to cut down some scraps of the paper to make these banners. Use some of the white cardstock here for Get Well, which is from the stamp set. Added that little puppy image again. You can tell that one was my favorite. And used in, like, this entire back panel is just that red stripe paper. Very simple, and just a white mat on the inside. Now card number 3, I don't know if you can, let's see if I get up close. So I used the dog stencil and I used Versamark. And I wanted to use my clear embossing powder, and I really probably just need to throw this one container away. I have 2 containers. They are of the same brand, so I always grab the wrong one. And this is the one that has a little bit of white embossing powder mixed in. So these just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. But anyway, I wanted to have all these clear embossed dog bones on the back, but they are clear and white. Used a couple of dies to cut out some shapes, used a circle to cut out this one here. This I just used a little bit of, I used a blue distress ink, but I don't remember which color. Just again to kind of dye down how white that card was against these other darker colors. Added 2 of the images from the stamp set. Both these puppies are in the stamp set, and the stamp set had these sentiments: birthday wishes and puppy dog kisses. Super cute. I need to add a white mat, but that one will just have a white mat on the inside. And the last one for this is, again, used a large piece of the orange polka dot paper, cut a circle, a scallop circle with the yellow, added our little puppies. Again, the same sentiment: birthday wishes and puppy dog kisses. And on the inside, just a white mat. This black paper is just from my stash. I will bring in black cardstock and white cardstock. And maybe I shouldn't assume, but I do assume that most people who make cards or scrapbook probably have, you know, some plain colored cardstock in their stash somewhere. So that is the last card for collection 2. So going on to collection 3, we had paper from Doodlebug Designs called Kitten Smitten. Now I have used this cardstock before, so I wanted to try to make sure I didn't repeat any any of the cards from last time. So this is my interpretation of that sketch number 1 again. I'll just bring that here to show you again. I did not add the 2 little embellishments down below, but you know, the 2 different pattern papers, the sweet little banners, and a circle here. And I added the little kitty from the stamp set. I think that's the Pretty Kitty stamp set. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, it's a Pretty Kitty stamp set by Scrapbooking for Less. On the inside, I added a white mat, a piece of this piece here, that little edge, I just put it right down here, and one of the kittens from the stamp set. So it's card number 1. Card number 2, this ephemera from the stamp set. It's Pretty Kitty from Scrapbooking for Less. I think this kitty is so sweet. So I did use some of the pattern paper and some black cardstock from my stash. This sentiment is from the pattern paper, and then just used some sequins to kind of fill in all of that empty space. And then on the inside of this card is just a white mat. Card number 3. Now this is the only one I tried to use that sketch number 4. This one here. It tends to use, like, sketches like that are great, and I do keep them to use later, not necessarily with the kids, but just in card making in general. They just require kind of a lot of pattern paper. Like, so I had to use the full back of this pattern paper, and, you know, this strip here and another strip here. So I don't tend to use a lot of those when I'm just making the 4 cards, 1 kit, because you only get 6 sheets of pattern paper with each collection, and I want to try to maximize how much of the pattern paper I can use per card. I don't like getting to card number 4 and not having like at least 1 full sheet somewhere. So this is the card I made for number 3, and on the inside, thank Mew, with the little kitty stamp from the stamp set. So it's card number 3. Card number 4, of course, is a shaker card. Here, let me try to move this a little bit so we don't have the glare. So I loved all these little kitty faces. They are so adorable. This black paper here is the pattern paper from the stamp set, so I cut that down, cut this square out, put the pattern paper behind it, of course some acetate. I used all the sequins in the shaker because this shaker is huge. It's almost half of the card. And then this little image from the stamp set. So we stamped that out, colored that with some Arteza Real Brush pens. And then on the inside, thank Mew. And again, our little kitty. So cute. So that's everything from collection 3. Now collection 4, I wasn't, like, of all of the collections, this one I was really having a hard time with, but once I got started, it was so easy. So this is card number 1, and she is just adorable when her little kitty, like, I had so much fun with this little image. She is a really nice size. She doesn't take up too much room, but she's not too small, so I just really liked her. And I really liked the papers. I used a lot of shaped dies to make these cards, so they are all pretty similar. And I'm just going to make this a set of 4 note cards because the collection didn't really have anything to do with sentiments, and the stamp doesn't come with a sentiment. So I just made a set of 4 note cards. It's super cute, really pretty, and I think I used foam tape for her on almost all of them. So this is the first card, and again, I had 3 little sequins and cut different shapes out and just kind of put them all over, and the white mat on the inside. Card number 2, again, just cut various shapes of the pattern paper, put it all together, colored our little girl in again, and some more sequins. And again, just a white mat on the inside. So card number 3, lots of different pattern papers here. I did use just this regular black cardstock for this one here because I was kind of running low on different patterns to put in here, because I try to make these banners with scraps. I don't necessarily want to cut into a big piece of the pattern paper. So added that. This circle came out of the next card I'll show you. And then again, our little girl here. I did not put any sequins on this card. I couldn't figure out how many I wanted to put on and where, so I decided to hold off because I can always add sequins later. But if I put them on and I don't like where I put them, I can't really take them off. So I decided to decide on not putting any on for right this minute. All right, and the last card is this one here. So like I said, that circle that or oval, it's not a circle, this oval here came from inside here. Used a striped with this polka dot here, and added some sequins along the outside. And on the inside again, just a white mat. So real quick, I'll show you what I have left. I still have all of the banana split ingredients left. I don't usually touch those until the card mix-up kit, which I am so far behind in, but I think it's because I'm at April, and April's kind of spring themed, and I am so far away from doing anything spring or summer. I'm really looking forward to fall, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas cards, so I will get to it. I'm just not sure when. We'll revisit that at some point. For collection 4, I have the stencil. I have 2 of the pattern papers that have quite a bit of paper still on them, like they're probably only 25% used. So some scraps, of course the sentiment, I have the twine, and I do have some sequins left. Number 3, I don't have a ton of paper left. This is probably the biggest scrap. The stamp set, I have a couple pieces of the ephemera and none of the sequins because I used them all in that shaker card. So number 2, I have the stencil, of course. I have 1, I might have 2. No, it's just 1. There's just the stripes go 2 different ways. So there's 1 full piece of 6x6 pattern paper. some scraps, the stamp set. I have all of the paper clips still. Collection number 1, I have 1 full sheet of 6x6 pattern paper. I have 2 of the Project Life cards, some scraps, the stamp set, of course, and the sticker sheet that was for 1 and 4. So I do have quite a bit of stickers left. So that's everything I have left over after making the 12 cards. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today and taking a peek at the 12 cards that I made using this card kit. If you liked this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more and you're not already, hit the subscribe button. I'll leave some links below where you can find me on social media. I'm most active on Instagram, so if you'd like to see up-close photos of all these cards, that's definitely the place to go, at Pattercrafts. And I guess that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, but until next time, bye!